Shout out to Amy Adams for
Shout
no
out.
reason.
Just Nico, just like
I'm just shouting out.
let's try to remember
Shout out
all the shout outs. Shout out Idris Elba, shout out John Boyega, shout out Colin Salmon, fuck. Shout out Tom Hardy, shout out Tom Hiddleston, shout out Hugh Laurie, shout
out Thanos.
Kratos,
Did some good stuff.
shout out Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Shout out.
Don't shout out Call of Duty World War II. Screw that game. Garbage.
James Bond. Shout out to.
Okay, stop.
Welcome to the Guigo and Nico show, starring Guigo and Nico. How's it going, fellas and ladies? Don't assume gender around here. Nico, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
What you drinking today?
Why?
I am drinking Pepsi. I am not a healthy person. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm generally not healthy at all.
Here's heavy breathing.
Hey, we already talked about this in an earlier episode. There is a point to it that it is my tubbiness, but there's also my nose congestion. And I said something else.
He's like a pug, but like a human. Like a human pug. You
And
know,
speaking of Tubby, Timba!
ow, got a blood test.
What's up, Tim? He got a blood test, but he's doing
this up.
fine. Nico can't open his Powerade.
Dude, I don't know what's up. Like, I got no grip.
Yeah, so Nico likes Powerade.
Jesus
He also
fucking
like
Christ.
lemonade.
What is your hands made out of? Like, literal tentacles?
What? No, they're just fucking strong.
Octopus.
I deadlift.
I
Guys,
I have a better
deadlift.
grip than you. I don't know.
I know, I do. I do have a shitty grip. No matter how much I work
But your
on
hands
it
are.
through
But
deadlift.
you said you were sweaty, so your hands are sweaty. You're like,
No, my hands are not sweaty. Yours are sweaty. Mine are.
now they are.
Mine,
After trying to grip this.
no, mine's are dry now. But I have very soft hands. Right?
Like a baby.
No.
My hands are pretty soft generally.
Yeah, we're.
You'll notice.
Weird.
You'll know us in a crowd when you feel those soft hands. You'll be like, Guigo and Nico show.
Yeah, we're kind of like.
We're not famous though, so you
that
probably
guy,
wouldn't think that.
Remember that guy that Bernie Mac shakes his hand? We're like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Except I shake like Donald Trump.
you pull in.
Yes, I gotta show my dominance.
Oh, on BitChute, we got 7 views. So woohoo to those people out on BitChute. Give yourselves a pat on the back.
Let's give yourselves a pat on the back for like watching,
Yeah, for watching.
wasting your time,
Yeah, wasting their
Life.
Jeez, Nico.
hours.
Why are you bringing our show down? All right, guys. So this last week was my choice. Yeah, it wasn't.
Just act like Monday didn't happen. There was no Monday.
So this time it's Nico's choice, but he didn't tell me what it is. He loves to fuck with me like this. Like the last time where it was his turn to do a topic, but around the last minute he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to do the show." So I had to come up with the topic on the fly. And this time the topic is going to sneak up on me. So,
Okay, you don't need this backstory.
backstory,
Excessive.
long story short,
Yeah, back in the day.
as I drink my Pepsi, Nico, state what the topic is.
Okay, so this topic is going to be a little bit more of a bridging topic, but it's going to come out. So Battlefield 5 was revealed, I believe, last week, okay? So this is less about Battlefield 5, but it's more about what the problems that occur is the idea of what can be sacrificed for a gameplay perspective from actual like historic games.
Are we talking about women here? Is this an anti-SJW episode?
It's not anti. I see the value, but I have to point it out. Is frontline disabled women accurate portrayal of World War II?
No. Next question. No, seriously, I saw the commercial and stuff. I saw what they're going to put. It makes, well, let's look at this. Do they have a story mode?
Yes, there will be a story mode. It's going to be war stories? Remember what happened in BL? That wasn't. I like those.
To the people who are living under a rock, just kidding, who just haven't played the game, BF1 took place in World War One, and showed the stories of various occurrences during the war.
There was one in Italy. There was a tank one.
Australia.
Lawrence. Oh, well, not in Australia, but in Australian.
Mm-hmm. Australia.
Actually, he's a real guy, I think. Legendary.
They showed a unit, a platoon or something.
Oh, they showed the Harlem Hellfighters, yeah.
Yeah, who were all
African American. Yeah, that was awesome. That was that was actually my favorite.
And it was
one.
Historically accurate. You can show, and they didn't make it different because all of them died. Right?
That's how I like it. That's like my war games. I want everybody to die. I want to be people don't realize I want frontline. I want to be the guy who dies. It's like, wait a minute, what kind of game you play? Frontline infantry.
Joker. Journalist. What the hell? No, but more my point was more I always bring it back. A woman should be allowed the equality to have jobs they want. That way they can lead a life that they really hate and not progress in the next 5 years and start their own fight club.
Though I do want to point this out for the Battlefield 5.
I agree with gay divorce.
Yes. Let's encourage all divorce for no reason. Battlefield 5, interestingly enough, has a woman on the cover of the standard game, at least I think.
Oh my
for now.
God.
But for the deluxe edition, there is a guy on the cover. Now tell me,
you pay more, you pay more for historical accuracy.
I'm just saying, it's odd, okay? I think it's odd for them to actually include women, but then to out of their way. But I mean, if you're looking at it, it's like no lenses. I feel like both should be I feel like the standard edition should just have I don't feel like there ever should be one soldier on the front, because that kind of takes away from World War II. It's not real World War II. There's not one soldier above them all. I think it should take place of an overview, but that's my idea. But they're gonna go this way of the cover art of one person. I think showcase, if you've got to keep it standard. You're gonna showcase a woman on the front, then you're gonna showcase a white guy. They're both white, and it's like deluxe edition, and I'm like. That was a weird thing. I don't see a problem, but I can see where people are like, that's kind of weird. That's hilarious in my opinion.
It's ridiculous. And what's crazy is that you can include stuff like this when they work. And that's the weird thing. Like I was saying, what if they excluded the Hellfire team? Is that what they call it?
Hellfighters, yeah.
The Hellfighters, because they all got fucking destroyed. But it's like, okay, we can't show this because it shows African Americans to be bad. It's like, no, fuck that. We're going to show a realistic thing that actually happened, but we will be equal by showing something that has African Americans.
Yeah, I mean,
and then in this case, the case of Call of Duty, the Call of Duty that takes place in World War II, there was a level where you play as an undercover woman. But I, at first, was like, that's weird. And then you were like, no, that actually existed. There were undercover women in the British intelligence.
Well, she was a French resistance fighter.
Okay, yeah.
Even more accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know about I think there were, but I don't think it was necessarily. I mean, there were. And yet I believe there were actually zero frontline infantry women. And that was actually a weird decision from them, but I guess... there were tons, a lot of women who were actually trained. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a significant amount who were trained to fight. They were all prepared. They were all the women were I think in the British Army were all trained equally. Mm-hmm. That angered some of the older the old guards, that believe women should be part of the military, but they were not allowed combat roles. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have been allowed. Here's the problem. I think people say, oh, should women be allowed in the game? It's like, no, I'm not saying women shouldn't be allowed in the video game. That's a weird thing. I mean, I do. Here's the thing I see, though.
It's a very specific instance.
I'm not against having women in the game because at some point, some of the battles took place in different areas. There were cases of cross-dressing women who participated.
Sure.
And I get that point, but was it will it ruin the game for me? I think some people are blowing it out of proportion saying the game is absolutely ruined. It's like, calm down,
so,
big fella.
We watched Deadpool 2, and it was fucking awesome. I recommend. Shout out. It is such a cool movie.
Shout out to Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool together.
Oh my god,
they're the same person.
So the controversy that was happening was that Domino, right? She's supposed to be pale white, but with like black features, but like literally
Kristen
black.
Stewart.
What? No, like the thing around her eye is supposed to be like contrast with her pale skin. It's not just pale. It is literally, if you ever saw the Joker in the animated series, she's like that. And the reason is she literally looks like a domino. And everybody was up in arms. A lot of people were up in arms based on...
What does that even term mean? Like, what are you, up in arms? Like, are people
bare arms being guns?
No.
So up in arms, it's like you're aiming your arms
at the sky?
Well,
is that even threatening?
Picture a mob coming after you with their guns, right? They're not going to aim at you.
They're 10 times
march at you.
They're so not afraid of me that they're aiming their weapons at the sky.
They're gonna shoot up in the sky,
and the bullets are gonna come down.
Yeah, they're that confident it's gonna happen.
They're that confident in how much they're gonna kill you.
Their superpower is luck.
Domino.
Oh my god, Domino reference. No,
Shout out.
So it made sense. A bunch of these non-understanding people were like, no, this is secretly racism. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. All these people were totally fine when Zoe Zaldana painted herself green to play that. They didn't care.
No, that's green face and that's racist.
Racist to aliens. Alien come back down. Oh, we welcome you.
You son of a bitch. Racist son of a species sons of bitches. I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's my opinion. After watching the movie, I don't know what actress. I mean, there were plenty of great actresses, but I liked the casting. And I enjoyed her. I thought she was a great.
I loved her.
I'm a big fan. I was like, damn. You know what? I'm okay. I have no problem.
She was awesome.
Here's the thing. I can understand where they're coming from. Where it's like, okay, why make her black? But I think what they don't realize is that sometimes casting has something to do with this. I mean, yeah, you can find the right white actress. I mean, there's probably plenty that could have probably played the part.
I immediately thought of Rooney Mara when I thought of what.
But would they have played it with the charisma and the kind of confidence that she pulled off? I don't know. I liked her in the part. I thought she really fit it very well.
She was funny. She was and it. I was agreeing with the people who were like, but I knew like. I'm not a fan of the comic, so is this going to ruin for me? And it didn't, which is the point I was trying to make with the other thing. Like, will the fact that women are there really going to ruin it for me? No.
Then
but
again,
it's still looking at it from a lens of let's critique and see if we can do better.
No, it kind of reminded me of the situation of like Green Lantern. I remember when they had the Hal Jordan version. Like, I was not aware that there was a Hal Jordan version, and there was the other one who was an African American.
Is he African American? We keep saying that, but
I think he is. I believe he was. I think most of the Green Lanterns have all been American.
What would you... Do they call themselves African English if they're from England?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Black people. Because you know what? You have a color... I mean, they're brown people in reality, to be honest. I mean, is it even brown? There's a large color difference. Are white people even white? Is that even... some white people are more orange than white. I mean, what is he...
Well,
what is even colors?
I remember there was a...
Summertime Spice.
Anthropology thing? Maybe I'm wrong. But it was... wrong term. But it was like, there's 4 different...
races.
Yeah. There's Mongoloid, which sounds bad.
That's not Mongoloid. It's Mongolide. There's a difference.
Mongolide?
Isn't it Mongoloid?
Yeah, Mongoloid.
Not Mongol.
No, that's not Mongoloid.
Yeah, so it's not offensive to say Mongoloid.
Mongoloid is referred to people with like Down syndrome because it's the way your eyes. It's a common thing amongst people with Down syndrome and people who come from Mongol descent, and it's not related, but it's the way your eyes are. It has like a certain quality. I can't remember. It's like this thing.
Thingy.
So saying Mongoloid is what's a derogatory term towards people with Down syndrome. So if I say Mongoloid, that's mean. But
okay, get on with it.
Okay. And then there's Caucasoid. And then there's the one that's East Asian, something Zoid.
Asianoid.
And then there's the one that I can't say on here because I'll get in trouble. But basically, N-word-oid. And those are the 4.
It may have been developed during a racist time.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it during a racist time?
No.
It was the 19th.
Okay, maybe a racist time.
It was the time
I don't
period.
think they were racist for coming up with that.
Yeah, people also didn't think it was racist to say that word.
No, but there's a difference.
In that kind of way.
We're 2 white guys talking about race here. And
Hey, you're saying, here's the thing. Some people would, back in the day, saying, a racist term to somebody who you thought was trash isn't racist. They didn't think it was racist.
well, no, it's not so much like that. It's all right. So there's
say all you want.
There's the not brotherly, but the camaraderie version of dropping the R, and then there's the one with the hard R.
I got a lesson in this once. He's a nice guy.
And then there's the one that ends with row. And that last one has been used in like an academic sense, even by African Americans. Speaking of that community,
I like to specify when I said I got a lesson in this, it wasn't because I used the term. It's just somebody described what was the reasonings. It was different. I'm trying to specify. I wasn't down in the South, doing random things with the N-word. I wasn't just throwing it out.
You weren't throwing up the Confederate flag.
I was not doing those.
And not for states' rights, but for something more traditional.
For traditional, in the traditional sense.
No, seriously. I talked about this before. It was like, or did we? Maybe I just stayed by myself. It's like there are people who legitimately just are not racist, but consider the flag to be a sense of freedom of states.
You can see it.
Which is stupid. Fuck freedom of states. But still,
I think that there's a legitimate point. But back to the where were we? Domino, and Green Lantern. Actually, that's where we got to. I watched a lot of the cartoons, and I think we growing up, I enjoyed the black Green Lantern in preference. I was like, this guy is a badass. I liked it better. And then when I saw this Ryan Reynolds, kind of a smaller guy.
Ryan Reynolds motherfucker.
This Ryan Reynolds Deadpool looking guy playing my Green Lantern, the one I wanted. I was like, Hal Jordan, screw that weirdo. I want give me the real Green Lantern. And I was like, and the movie sucked. I mean, it did not do well at all. I mean, I enjoyed it to a level.
Thank you, Canada.
But it was all right. It wasn't that great. So maybe they should have done a black. Maybe they should make all superheroes as black. Black actors better. Maybe.
Oh, dude, fucking Jamie Foxx, shout out, Spawn. Is playing Spawn. I think that is badass. That's
probably good casting.
I like the first Spawn. I like that. I like that. I liked it.
It didn't do well though, I think, but
who was the motherfucker who played the clown? Spawn. Looking it up. Tom.
Then again,
shout out to Google.
Spawn's like in a different comic universe, I think. Oh, I heard Microsoft passed Google in value.
And ethical?
No, in
Ethics?
value.
Value?
In value. By like 10 billion or something like that.
Oh, John Leguizamo,
which happens quite often, but
so they're bigger than Google for the moment.
Just for the moment, yeah. It doesn't happen. It was the first time in 3 years though.
Oh, it's Apple who has the highest gain, like the highest change in a single quarter. It's pretty fucking crazy. Like they released an iPod or an iPhone, and it's like.
iPhone X, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of hype on
there.
There
is a weird company that's like number 2.
Okay, stop going on companies. That's not what we're going
Whatever. Look it up, people. It's on Wikipedia. It's pretty cool.
Reddit also surpassed Facebook as most search websites. So.
I wasn't into the microphone, but.
I see those things and circumstances. I don't think all superheroes should be changed for different races. There was I think there's a new Hulk in the comic book series in the comics. He's Asian, I believe. Mm-hmm. He looks cool. I think a lot of people are upset because they're like, why did you change Bruce Banner for no reason? But the thing is, they didn't make Bruce Banner Asian. They added a different Hulk. So
yeah, but see, that's not really a problem. It's more when you have a character and you
Bruce Banner's now Asian,
or you change. It's not misrepresentation. It's like. There's a reason for the character to be a certain way, and you're changing it in order to make a value lesson. Both of which is bad. You're destroying the earlier creation and also putting messages. I hate.
I think there's times when they change the character's race, and it's like okay, or even I remember the Master Chief voice acting where like people were like it should be a white guy, and I was like. Okay, first of all, you never see his gosh darn face. Okay,
doesn't matter.
If the guy, would it really matter? And
but is he a white guy in the books? Because if the books are canon, maybe that's what they're doing.
No, but when does he take off his helmet?
Oh, I don't know, but maybe I know the books reveal his name, and I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah, John Forge.
Mm-hmm. That can be a black guy's name, but let's say in the books.
No, but does it? No, why does it? Okay, you gotta understand.
It's about keeping the canon.
If the movie was the exact same as the reason it's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe and not this is all just the Marvel Universe, it would be freaking annoying if it was. Imagine comic book fans who are so excited to see this movie and it's the literal exact same story, word for word. I mean, at some level they would be cool. And probably because it's an older comic, but what if it's a more recent comic? Like, it just came out, like, or a video game. If it's exactly the same, you're just rewatching your game, but without playing it. And playing video games does contribute to the story. I
like the idea if it's a book, but when it's a visual medium, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, why? I mean,
there's a certain point where you're going from a non-visual to a visual in a book. And also books often don't have the ums in people's speeches or the weird. So a good actor can be like, make the speech realistic rather than a book doesn't necessarily.
I mean, the Harry Potter books were like 10 times larger than any movie could probably comprehensively add. And I think they did a decent job. I mean, Lord of the Rings books, they also had a crap ton more than the movies. And it's like, but the movies were still enjoyable. I think people who read the books, they'd probably be a little annoyed. Certain things were left out here and there, but you still enjoyed it. Now, I think adding things additionally to make a point from the book, I think that's ridiculous. I think you gotta, you don't need, if a book was written in the 1920s, you don't change it to the modern day and make your values in it. I mean, and I think that's kind of what's going on in World War II here. Like,
this has actually happened in a certain way.
The World War II, very believe it or not, occurred and it happened.
Remember when we were talking about how,
believe it or not,
people think that all white males, especially straight white males, are all in some really big club together. And I mean, look at World War II and I. We do not love each other. In fact, we often kill each other.
I mean, in World War II, though, I mean, here, like in World War II, 350,000 American women served in the U.S. military. Probably not, I'm going to say confidently, not in combat roles. And 16 were killed in action. No, those could be missiles dropped on bases and things. Those happen. Not missiles, but like whatever they had. Howitzers. Things.
16.
Mortars. Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. People...
Is that the... Wait. Is that the whole war? Or is that...
That's the whole war. Well, for Americans.
Yeah. 16 versus how many fucking people in... male.
Then again, how do we know how many Russian women served? Because they just kind of or Soviet women, because they just threw those like people. They were like, meat grinder. Sounds like a good
Japanese? Plan. Did the Japanese use?
Sorry, I totally made a Russian accent.
Russian.
See, that's one of the more acceptable like things. You can't. It's weird. Certain accents are acceptable for other people to do, and then certain accents are like people treat like no, you can't replicate that. You can't make a joke about that.
We can't be Rhodesian. Hebrew.
I don't know Rhodesian accents that well. I know about the Rhodesian Ridgeback, which is a dog from Rhodesia, I believe.
South Africa.
It's a really good, like a really athletic dog. I know, no reason to bring that up, but still, I know.
Reconciliation, sir. Yes. Forgiveness starts here. I wonder if that's a good accent. Anyway.
So, I mean, okay, so there, even here, the cover art, okay? You have the customization they're adding into the game. I said okay like 16 times.
Okay. Right? Are you okay? Okay.
Okay, you got you got the cover art. There's this Kratos looking like budget Kratos looking dude. Okay. He's got a beard, got like face paint on his face, and he's bald. And he's got no like trench coat uniform.
He looks like me.
Inaccurate portrayal. Right there. That's inaccurate. That's not proper soldier, especially for the British military. They had a pretty strict dress code. Actually, militaries used to be, well, they still are very strict in comparison to like what I mean, we have a cousin in the military, and he's like, "Yep, I gotta have my mustache shaved to regulations."
Yep.
And he shaved it one time to
He's
like
in
a
the
Hitler
Navy because not everybody can do that, but the Navy is specifically you can have a mustache.
Yeah, and he doesn't serve in any combat role.
That's why I joined Delta.
Now I'm not gonna explain exactly where he is because
So, and according to Nico,
privacy.
then I could get fucked up. No, not fucked up. I can fuck things up. Because isn't that like not a theory of yours, but like
what?
That Delta keeps fucking shit up.
Delta's trash, but
not like the CIA though. They cause wars, but the Delta, they keep ending up in the situation and making things worse. Shout out to Delta. I even said just now that I would be Delta.
Now,
but
Delta's still like one of those things where it's super highly classified.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we don't know when they succeed.
Okay, so going back to the cover art here,
which is the opposite of SEAL Team 6.
Then you got this woman to the left. Okay, this is the British side. They showed the trailer. You saw all these people. This is the British side. Right. You got this woman. She got red hair, and she has I don't know, Scottish. I heard people referring to her as. I heard her being referred to as a lass. I'm not British. I don't know exactly the term. What would be a lass? But I think Scottish, something like that.
No, is it like?
But I believe the Scottish had their own military, so she was probably somewhere.
Female version of lad.
I think it was maybe a Cockney accent. I don't know. There's a whole accent. So she's got blue face paint again. What's the face? I don't like the face paint. I'm not a fan.
It's not Irish though.
It's not realistic. Yeah, Irish. Yeah, no.
We know something there.
The face paint's just not realistic on any of these people. I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's like, yeah, you probably could if in the heat of battle, but I would imagine more red blood on your face. She's got a trench coat.
The blood would
trench
wipe
coat.
away.
I can imagine on the front lines. Probably you could pick it up. They probably maybe allow it. I don't know. You probably die soon.
Oh, do you know what a British warm is?
No.
I like British warms. They look cool.
I like trench coats. I think they look cool. I mean, Sherlock Holmes and that BBC series.
Yeah. His trench coat is...
Shout out to Benedict Cumberbatch. Also.
Benedict Cumberbatch and Sherlock. Please come out with a season 5. I actually like season 4. Everybody said that it like broke down, but dude, that last episode was badass. Especially when
you just stopped there.
I want to break free.
Wait, that's not the last season.
Yeah, it's the last episode.
No, it's not.
Are you serious? No, it's the one with the prison.
Oh,
and he shows up with the helicopter.
I thought you were talking. Yeah.
Timba, stay here. Oh, you son of a bitch! Get back down here.
He's gone.
Tim. But the door's not open. You jerk!
He's just looking back.
Get back down.
What a guy. Whatever. Okay, so
I want to
this last,
free.
she's got a sniper rifle.
He wants to break free.
Oh, she's got a scope on her sniper rifle. Frontline soldiers don't have scopes, but that's probably a sacrifice for gameplay. Actually, sniper rifles, I think, especially in World War I remember hearing, I think World War II probably transitioned. They were treated more harshly than soldiers. They were typically executed on the spot because they were presumed like one of the most pussy soldiers in the military because they're like, these guys kill our people from long ways away. And they respected other frontline soldiers, but they did not respect snipers. And I understand that sentiment.
What?
You asshole.
You mean in war? Timba, stop humping the air, you weirdo.
You hate to see it.
He has this like nerve.
I think it's a nerve thing.
Yeah, it's like a tick. He doesn't actually hump anything. He just humps the air. It's weird.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
no, the sentiment against snipers or snipers in World War.
I understand sentiment in snipers even currently.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
They kill people when they don't have a chance to fight back.
Okay,
everybody.
This is what honor thing. This is about getting shit done. And
so you want to? No, but here's the thing: if you kill people from far away, then we'll catch you. You're a different soldier. You fight differently. You get executed on the spot.
What?
That's just how it is.
So the soldier, that other team has snipers.
That's
too.
just the rule. Yeah, they know.
Everybody.
Everybody
has snipers.
No, people used to hate the snipers even on their own front lines.
Dude, that's
because they sometimes would accidentally hit them in the back.
I totally get that.
I hate them.
We're dealing with you're talking about the idea of a sniper like
being treated worse.
No, they're not on the front lines and
they're not.
Yeah, but most of the snipers end up doing something like involved.
Yeah, like way back away from the front lines.
No. They end up in certain situations where they're getting fucked up with the people. Yeah.
No, they would hide in their buildings.
Not. Oh my God. No, it doesn't always happen that way.
No, but that's what they would be treated like.
Sometimes they even do.
You can't use a scope in the trenches, Gio.
No, but I know you keep going back and forth between World War
II had trenches too.
No, I'm not just talking about World War. I'm talking about like in Afghanistan or in
Yeah, but we're
Vietnam.
talking about snipers in World War II, especially.
I know, and maybe it's a little different then because they did shoot the people in their back. But that's different.
We're done. Snipers suck. Kill yourselves. No.
Jesus Christ. No, but you're talking about how snipers like stay away from the battle. And that's crazy. That's not how it works. They get involved with stuff in there, and they also there's an aspect of it where they can get fucked up by missiles. They can get fucked up by
we're not talking about
people
today.
Sneaking up on them, and they have
we weren't talking about today. We're talking about World War II. And probably, I mean, I don't know exactly Vietnam snipers. But yeah, today, I mean, snipers are more coordinated within units.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a different coordination. I mean, back in the day, they had large platoons that usually rolled together. We saw them. If you guys ever saw Hacksaw Ridge, they had that whole like scene. Oh, yeah. Epic.
Great movie. Shout out.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a certain aspect of that movie was really good in the sense that when you didn't, they were on the bottom of the cliff and you were hearing sounds and seeing people go away. It was weird. Like you're like, holy shit. It's almost scary. It's almost like a horror film about to happen. Like you're about to see this shit go down, but you don't see the battlefield until like the last minute that the battle's about to start. Or not the battle, but that when they come up. So excellent movie. Shout out. What were we talking about?
Okay, so we were talking about the.
You talking about pictures?
I'm talking about the cover art that shows like all four. Okay, then you got this prosthetic limb. Obviously, it's an era accurate prosthetic limb. I give him credit.
Good.
Somehow she's able to control her hand, which no, what the hell?
Keep talking.
So no, I'm gonna have to say the prosthetic limb is a weird. First of all, it's a weird kind of thing to customize because it's like saying, "Oh, this is cool customization, guys. Lose your arm." Like that's like I don't think people who lost their arms are like particularly like hype about it. I mean, the new robot arms. Weird thing. The new robot arms coming out. Yeah, I mean, they seem pretty cool. I mean, I hear the technology in orthotics is getting quite advanced. You go, Tim.
So it seems like a weird thing because stupid. Would not paraplegics, but people
disabled soldiers. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. If it's a frontline soldier, I don't know though. I mean, turn in frontline situations, I can imagine like somebody gets their arm blown off, they sew that crap back together, and they're like in a combat situation. There is no retreat, cater back in there. But I mean, no arm. They have, the sniper rifle, no arm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can imagine that'd be more sense, but then she's a frontline sniper rifle. Okay.
How do you use a sniper rifle without an
arm? However, this arm? No, she's using her arm. The arm's holding it. I imagine she I don't know. I guess you put the prosthetic arm onto the gun and you hold it.
Yeah, you'd have to. There's a way you hold a sniper. Well, you have to. That's so weird.
No, she has her hand on it. The prosthetic hand.
Yeah, but how do you do the bolt? Do you
with the other hand?
Like you go on this side, or I don't know.
You have two hands, Gia. One's the prosthetic, the left arm.
Yeah, the prosthetic can't close. You can't open and close your prosthetic arm.
Yeah, you're just always holding the rifle.
But how you hold a rifle, you have to do whatever.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're completely insane. The bolt action doesn't need to be. I mean,
I've never shot a sniper rifle. There's with a also
straight
arm,
pull bolt. Yeah, I don't know if it's a straight pull bolt. It's probably not. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna say no. Okay, then we got this guy on the right, all the way on the right. He's a black guy. I mean, this is the British military, so. Mm-hmm. I don't believe there was a huge amount in the British military. I mean, there's not a huge amount of black people in Britain, I believe, compared to America.
Mm-hmm. So should we bring this up? James Bond, black guy.
He should be black.
So here's the thing. I like it. At first, I was against it, but my idea, I first thought it just doesn't make sense for. It sounds weird to say this, but it just doesn't make sense for a black guy to end up in that position. And it has nothing to do that they couldn't. It's just at the moment, his current time, it just doesn't make sense. But then I thought, and also, they were keeping a certain line of what Bond should be. And part of
was an
that
American.
is the idea of a traditional British, and traditional British is white.
Oh yeah, the traditional British, you know.
No, black people. Look what you just said. The amount of black people is really small, and Britain has existed long before the U.S. and a lot of it was white. And their sorry, I yelled there. Quote unquote, top people, kings, princes, they were all white. But here's the thing. I started to think differently about this because I thought, okay, first of all, it's fiction. You could just say, yeah, it doesn't matter if it was, it's not likely for that career path, in a manner of speaking, to happen to a black person. Fuck it. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. It can, and they're fully capable of it happening. So let's just say in a fiction, it just did happen.
Okay, I just want to say this.
Can I say this?
No.
Next part.
No. Barry Nelson was the first actor to portray Ian Fleming's secret agent James Bond.
What?
And he was an American actor.
Oh, that's fucked up. In Casino Royale?
No, what?
Wasn't the first movie with Russia with Love?
It doesn't say what the first.
Or was it Casino Royale?
Oh no, yeah. Wait.
Yeah,
James
but that was a satire.
Climate.
That was a fake one.
Oh, it was a fake one.
And the rest were British. No, it was literally a satire. So if anything, they should get an American actor because that was even a joke. But, but here's the thing. The second thing is this. I realized you guys are going to think, ooh, it's inherent racism, but you could do this about anything, and you could do it with any race and anything, whatever. I realized that I like James Bond.
They also weren't.
I'm like most men or straight white males who would like to be James Bond. So when the idea is James Bond being black, I suddenly, for a moment, thought, I cannot as easily put myself in his shoes. And I would rather want to put myself in James Bond's shoes than to simply, than not to. And I thought about this with Black Panther too, where Black Panther was great too, because it gave a black, especially an African, because we talk about African American, but in Africa, there's even less of a comic book here. I mean, there's plenty. You got Blade, you got Spawn. None of them are Africans. This guy is an actual African. So African kids can empathize with him and actually put themselves in their shoes and feel like a superhero. And that's amazing. So I think, and in the same way, a black James Bond would be like, I can't put myself in their shoes. But then I thought, no, that's stupid. Fuck it. Just make a black James Bond, make an Asian James Bond. Just as long as they're British, right? Just make them. Them whatever color. Should it be a gender? I don't know about that.
You suggested Idris Elba was one of the actors to play James Bond. You told me about that, and I was like,
he's too street.
No,
according.
I said it was perfect. I would have been so happy. I like Idris Elba. I think he should do it. Or at least get his own damn spy movie, because I want to see Idris Elba as a spy.
Oh, that was my other point, was that it's almost it would be an insult to be like, we want to be in James Bond, and it's like, why not make your own amazing fucking series?
Then again, are you saying James Bond is a white character? Is the white character?
That's what I'm talking
Does
about.
it change the character?
No, it does not.
I don't think it does.
It does not. It just.
I mean, it would change the character.
My ability to put myself in his shoes.
I mean, okay. I mean, it would change the character if he was like an American, got an American gentleman, or is like a redneck, or like somebody from a lower part of town. Right. I mean, the language and traits. Right. I mean, if you walk in and you're like, "Hey, what's up, mate?"
He's stereotypically British, but what is that?
And a British gentleman,
a particular kind of British.
Wait, where we get off? We didn't even. No, pretty far.
Oh no, we were talking about the British, the black guy in the British army during World War II. So I totally agree. I don't think Idris Elba should do it. I mean, he's a great actor, so he could. I don't know, maybe he could fit in. But I'm thinking more. What's his name? I can't remember.
The guy who plays.
Fuck.
The guy from Star Wars.
No, not him. Not
because I don't think so.
Badoga. What's his fucking name?
I don't know anybody's name. I don't know anybody's name.
All right, I'm gonna look it up, see if I can find it. But basically, Yeah, let's just get a black James Bond. Why not? Make him Asian, make him any fucking thing as long as he's should we make him a woman or make him even bisexual? Go ahead. As long as he's stereotypically British and follows the line, and for fuck's sake, don't put a fucking message in it and ruin the fucking film like you did with Last Jedi. Just make him black. Just fucking make him black and just have him be black, and that's fucking fine, right? No need to go over the fucking. You ruin movies with these fucking messages. Just stop.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then finally to this image. We're gonna be done with this image, but this is like one of those cover art things for Battlefield 5. If you want to search it up for yourself and just see it, to see what this is, what they think World War II is. The guy on the left has a beret. I know the beret is used in the British military. He's got some little things on his ears, probably for a radio. He's got leather gloves. He looks like a pilot, in my opinion. Looks a lot like a pilot. Yeah, I think this guy probably fits. Not his uniform probably is not the standard uniform, so I think it should be more standardized. Honestly, should customization be in Battlefield 5? No, absolutely fuck not. Like, were World War II soldiers wearing unicorns on their backs? No. I mean, were they able to customize themselves to their preference? Absolutely, like, no. I mean, customized. Were they wearing a lot? Like, did they have choices on like what they really had to wear? I mean, they probably could bring things from home. They probably had some things. I mean, some people. I mean, I know some military. There was like something I read. There was like a time where like people were getting sent with like rifles from their own home. Or, I don't know. But I mean, World War II, I feel like deserves more respect than this. It deserves to have a more realistic approach, especially that the BF1 got a very realistic approach in general. Like, I mean, there was a large portion of the like they had black people on the German side, which happened. They had African colonies, and they did participate, not in the front lines of Germany, but again, they didn't really separate they didn't want to like have to create like 80 different armies. I get that's laziness on DICE's part. They could have done it on themselves, but they didn't want to spend the money. You know, it's all about money. VA, little people know.
Not a shout out to EA.
Not a shout out. Shout out to DICE. They make great games usually, but I mean, I wish they were not part of that.
Who made
EA.
Besides EA, Mirror's Edge? Because I remember hearing there was like 1 year that EA made a bunch of really awesome games, and then it went back to being Madden.
Well, it makes Madden every year.
Oh yeah, but
so I mean, should women be in Battlefield? Should women be in Battlefield 5? Or should games made on certain eras and certain topics be forced to include diversity when at the time of that, or the setting of the game does not include diversity? I don't think so. If you're if I'm making a movie about the Nazis, I shouldn't have to make a character a female in the military, or have to put a black guy in the military. You shouldn't have to do this just to portray something. I think it's ridiculous that like these games are now. I mean, I get it. You know, people like to play. I mean, is the majority of the player base of the game women? No, but I think people have to remember that's a dick move. Okay, just because they're the minority in the gaming community doesn't mean you can't. You don't cater to their needs as well as everybody else. There's a compromise between everybody, so everybody gets to enjoy their game. The assholes in the gaming community, or even in the world, are like, I'm the majority, cater to me. Like, that's not how it works. That's why certain laws in the Constitution exist. Idiot. Garbage.
Damn you.
So, a lot of the things in BF1 were historical. There was a woman unit that sniped. The snipers and the woman. The snipers in Battlefield 1 and the Russian side were women. I mean, if you wanted to hear a woman scream when they got shot, you could. I mean, there's all these things that you didn't know you would hear in Battlefield 1. You got to hear them. I mean, I feel like everything should be put into a historical context. The thing of Battlefield 1 was that classes they were all looked the same. All the classes looked the same for each army. If you were a support class, you knew he was a support class because he looked exactly like a support class. He looked like a weirdo. All the support classes looked like freaking rhinos, practically. You always knew. So now with Battlefield 5, they're gonna have no premium pass. They're gonna have no loot boxes. Apparently, they're probably gonna have purchasable items, in-game purchases. Probably gonna have loot boxes introduced. They said they weren't. People lie all the time. COD lies all the time. They said they weren't gonna have weapons.
COD lies all
COD
the
literally
time.
said we wouldn't have weapons in loot boxes, and 2 months later, weapons in loot
They
boxes.
did.
Surprise, surprise. So,
Are you surprised?
should the cover art have a woman? I don't think there's a problem with it being a woman. Does it portray World War II? Absolutely not. I think it's an incorrect portrayal. I don't have a problem with it being a woman. It's ignorant to the battle. It's ignorant to the majority, and I think it's also reductionist to the fact that women played a major role in the war. And they're saying, "Oh no, their role in the war wasn't good enough. They had to be playing a frontline role, or else they're not important." So that's, I mean, yeah, they wouldn't be in the game, or they could be in the campaign, of course. I mean, there was a woman in campaign of World War II, COD, for a resistance fighter. There was also a woman in, what's it called? Battlefield 1 in the Lawrence of Arabia story. You actually played as the woman. You didn't play as Lawrence of Arabia, I don't believe. So
the lore.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
So the fact that it's like the women either had to be fighting on the front lines or they were unimportant is it's odd to say that, because it's really like, you know, people are like, oh, it's okay that there's women in there. What is you guys' problem? Like, why do you care? It's like, I don't really care. It's not going to affect the game for me. It's not going to affect gameplay. Gameplay is very important to me, so I think it's more important about gameplay, and graphics are important, but not as important gameplay. But for something that's historical to have to fit in things, you're placing your morale and your core values into an era that didn't have your era, that didn't have your values.
It's a double diss to the already, like, what I was just fuming about, of the idea of putting values and stuff to try to into a movie rather than let the movie be a bigger than that and deeper. But you have a double whammy. It's a double whammy here because of the historical element.
Also, not even to mention how horrible that, if anybody has watched that trailer, that's not World War II. I think most people can imagine that's just cinematic universe. And a lot of the things they said about the gameplay is going to be really great. I mean, the thing is that the gameplay is supposed to be nice. Like, I read all the new introductions, and I heard, you know, their commentators talk about it, YouTubers. But the fact that, what's it called? The fact that they're trying to institute these weird kind of, they're advertising to the weirdest crowd, the crowd that doesn't really play their game. They're advertising to the crowd that wants this kind of wacky customization when all the previous Battlefields didn't have this level of customization. Like, you could change the color of your uniform in Battlefield 4. I mean, the Battlefield World War II game and the original, all like the free ones, I think Battlefield 1942, 1943, and 1944, I believe. Maybe there wasn't a 44. Those didn't have customization. And of course, that could have been era limited. But I really hope they're not going this route. I really hope video game creators and content creators, like movie makers, don't feel the need to have to change things just so people accept it as like, they don't have to say. There was a BuzzFeed article even that said on World War that was talking about Battlefield 1. Yeah, BuzzFeed, you know, I hate to see it. But
Susan's HuffPost.
What? So they complained that you weren't able to choose your character and choose to be a woman, and it's like, this is World War One. Come on, chill out. And they even added women for the Russian side. Accurate. It's not. Of course, there weren't the numbers that they're on in the game. There's only 64 and 64 in the game. Okay, there wasn't millions on millions. So I can accept that sacrifice of historical accuracy to fit in some historical accuracy. In some level, it was there. I mean, just like the German soldiers had the black soldier, there was the black soldier for the French. I don't believe there was for the British. There was the Royal Marines. They did a lot of work there, and on some level, all the things had a character who was accurate. I mean, to some level.
Are you sick?
No.
Just kidding.
Sick of historical accuracy being thrown out the window. But here, all I see in Battlefield 5 is, you know, taking World War II and saying, we're gonna make it look how we want it to look. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's gonna be very fun in terms of what it's going to be. I mean, hopefully they still have the battlefields. I want to be charging Normandy and charging D-Day. You know, I want to have that experience. It's a thing that you haven't had in a AAA game at the level of Battlefield that usually produces. DICE produces really good, really great games in general, in my opinion. You just don't have that level. Operations mode is fucking fantastic. I just really would hope that they don't feel this like need to force this kind of fakeness into the game just so he can be like, and then say, I mean, then to say, well, we want to have a historical game. No, just admit it. You don't want a historical game. It doesn't have to be World War II. Your games don't have to be World War II. It doesn't have to be. There's no need. Vietnam, you could do it. You could have done a modern era game and have none of the constraints. There are no constraints to a modern era game or a slightly futuristic game. You could have women. You could have freaking robots. We could have lizards. Maybe, but then again, you have people that don't like that.
Mark Zuckerberg.
You can have Mark Zuckerberg charging the front lines, riding his dog.
Like a lizard.
Of course, his dog is a lizard.
As well.
So, I mean, why go back to World War II? Why portray history not in a historical way? Why go back to historical times and not portray it historical?
It's because corporations and businesses nowadays, they have to make people forget that how fucking cold-blooded they are and how non-human they are by becoming ethical with the people. Even though they could have been ethical like a long time ago, but what? Did they suddenly change all their
And of course,
employees?
yeah, people don't realize
Bullshit.
that they realize the thing is that this will draw in the crowd of people who are gonna buy it as a diversity game, as I can play as a woman. Then they're gonna buy it, and all the standard Battlefield players, they're gonna buy it because it's Battlefield, and hopefully the gameplay's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because it won't ruin the game.
It's not gonna ruin the game. Some people are and so the problem is the other side's like they think the game's gonna be ruined. No, a lot of the people on the other side are not saying. I mean, I think the trailer actually. Let me look this up. The Battlefield trailer, last time I checked, had more dislikes than likes.
So let me just recap. John Boyega. So I shout out and I apologize for butchering the name. So John Boyega
It does have more dislikes.
Yeah. And then the person I found, I think maybe I'm wrong about this, Ricky Whittle. Is this the guy that I was thinking of? I feel like Ricky Whittle. Maybe I found somebody else, but Ricky Whittle, if you look him up, he looks like a pretty good guy to play Bond. But also Colin Salmon. 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 How would you pronounce that? Salmon? Salmon?
Solomon.
No, it's not though. It doesn't.
Solomon Grundy.
Okay, so Colin Solomon, he
Salmon.
looks like he could fit. But check this out. Here is an article from Lad Bible. So it sounds very British, and it's
Lad Bible.
Idris Elba. You know who he is. He said it's interesting that the James Bond thing. I can't do a British accent. Thing continues to go. He said, speaking with the Independent, I think it's more about we just want to have a black guy play James Bond, rather than Idris Elba, the actor, play James Bond. That's the part that I'm like, ugh, come on. And you know, I can't speak to this because I'm a white male. But I've seen multiple leaders of the black community and leading change speaking to the idea of disregarding the need to place people of color into things, and rather it's like let the people be in there for themselves. It's not about, again, this is what I'm saying. I'm for gay divorce. I'm totally fine with women in the front line getting blown up. I'm totally fine with all these black actors failing their auditions. But at least they get an audition, and if one person gets in, it's because they're the best actor for the role. And it has nothing to do with not portraying a person as black, unless, of course, it's historically inaccurate. Just like the Hellfighters in Battlefield 1, right? They got their fucking ass destroyed, but...
No, they didn't. They weren't that destroyed.
Wasn't that the level?
No, that wasn't the point. No, you get killed because every unit got killed. It was a slaughterhouse for everybody.
All right, fine. Well, every unit got killed, but you got to play.
The meat grinder that was World War I happened to everybody.
You didn't play as, say, the one black hero.
The super soldier?
Right. No, you didn't do that. You played as a normal person who was black. A person, a human being who was black. And it's the thing. It's like feminism. feminism has continuously been a good idea up until the point that it seems all fucking positive. At some point, the world is cold and will fucking destroy you. But it won't destroy you because you're a woman. It'll destroy you because you're a person. So if your idea of if equality is things going well, then that's not equality. That's stupid. All right, enough of me. Let's go back to Nico. The less angry person.
Yes. So, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I mean, you guys heard me earlier. I said I want Idris Elba to play James Bond because I like Idris Elba. I like the character he plays. That's remember there was a whole thing with the Stephen King novel. What is it called? The Dark Tower.
Gunslinger?
Yeah. People were mad because he was black. I was like, I'm happy because it's Idris Elba.
Well, that's one of those things. Like it's canon idea. There is an aspect to
wasn't Stephen King like on cocaine when he was writing those novels anyway?
He doesn't even remember.
Does he? No, remember that he wrote something. He said something that he wrote like he was really he actually wished he didn't do as much as he did because he didn't really remember half the things.
I think it was Carrie.
He lost a lot of his life
without thinking. Like he was blacked out.
That's actually impressive as hell, to be honest. But
right,
I like Carrie. I'm a fan.
There's a lot of things.
See, I get the idea. It's canon, but okay. First of all, it's a novel.
No, but what I'm saying is that there is a reason for him being white because he meets a black woman, and there's a whole thing about race that is involved there. That is basically saying that. He can't be with her and something like that. I didn't read all the books, but it was something like that. In the end of the day, though, it's one of those things. If you play around with it, can you just delete that or, make her white or whatever? And then it's like, okay, yeah, and then we're good. Make him black.
Was Idris Elba the best actor to play that role? And I think I'm an Idris Elba fan. I think I've said it so many times right now. I love Idris Elba. If I saw him playing, that, and I was like, awesome. I haven't even seen the movie, and I'm still.
What
a
else
fan.
do you like him in? I love Luther. Shout out.
Oh, Luther, yeah, he's a great Luther. He's great. Oh yeah, he's great at being an angry guy.
But also like get shit done.
Really smart. Yeah, he plays a smart guy really well. But he plays a smart guy that's like gruff, like a house kind of Hugh Laurie smart guy.
That's why I think some people actually think he would be great as James Bond because of that.
Yeah, he's smart, but he doesn't look that smart.
I don't think he's too street.
I don't know what that street thing is.
I think he meant to say like it's a weird way to put it because the idea is like, oh, black people on the street. But I don't even think the person who said it actually thinks that. I think he means it's rough as in.
Oh no! Like, yeah, I get the point.
You could say
the guy who plays Sons of Anarchy, the guy you like.
He's pretty street.
Yeah,
right?
he looks
It'd be
street.
Weird for him.
He's playing a prisoner in that new in his new movie. So he looks street.
Who's another guy?
He's British too.
Based on what they do, of course, these are actors.
Streets.
They can change themselves and fit into a role, but.
James Bond, actually, Daniel Craig kind of looks, a little bit more rough than the other James Bonds. He doesn't. He's got more facial blemishes. He doesn't have the more perfect face. He's got some, especially in the latest movies.
If you go older, you get more rougher face.
Well, I think Sean back Connery. Then you got to imagine the technology. They could have made Daniel Craig look amazing.
Ooh, wow.
I think he looks fine as he is.
What is a white guy, a British guy who seems street? If you watch Skins, shout out. If what's his name, Cook, that motherfucker seems street.
Oh, dude, watch that last episode.
He played Unbreakable, but he played an American soldier, so it's a little weird. But if he plays British, it's hard for me to think he's not street, considering what I saw in Skins. But again, he's an actor; he can fit into another role.
Vin Diesel looks street. That's kind of
Yeah, it'd be weird to see him in a role that isn't.
The Rock doesn't look street. If you see him playing a street guy, it'd be weird because he's kind of he looks kind of you can play a kind of more like a poor guy, but he does not look like the kind of guy who'd be like a gangster. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit too perfect.
But then that's the thing with the street thing. If you say he's too street, he could play. He's fit for playing a gangster. It's great. Black people, you're street. Gangster, it's going to the stereotype, but I know what you're saying.
Well, but I think the idea is that street is more of a real life kind of scenario. Mm-hmm. Actors usually portray more above real life. I think, would you play middle class? If I was saying who looks middle class, I wouldn't say Brad Pitt looks middle class. If I saw that guy in the fucking neighborhood next to me, or in the fucking house next to me, I'd be like, What the fuck? What kind of handsome man around these parts? Everybody around here,
Get your pretty face out of here.
Get your pretty face to Hollywood. I mean, it's kind of that thing where like actors usually they look more like they have a lot more time to put into themselves than more average people. And there are average people, like people who like are worked more like average jobs. They don't make like over $150,000 a year, like more middle class, even the poor range. Not poverty. Poverty is a different thing we don't talk about. No, not that we don't talk about. That's a different kind of scenario. That's more like what we'd imagine streetish. Streetish, I mean, more not in the poverty range. Poverty's a whole different scenario.
You don't have to be a criminal to be
street.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just being. It's again, we keep going to the stereotypes, but it's literally
it's like a combination of looking tough.
It has nothing to do with skin.
It's like looking tough, but
color,
not looking, but having what?
I said skin, but all those like what a skinless person walking around. It has nothing to do with skin color.
No, it's about looking tough, not being too, not having some like skin blemishes, maybe being like guarded. A beard. Kind of looking like you've been through things.
You know who's a white guy who seems more street? Who everybody says
the guy who plays the guy from Red Sons of Anarchy.
Oh no, but I was gonna say British. Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, Tom
Hardy is very rough.
I wouldn't say he's street though.
It's weird.
He looks like a mercenary.
Because I mean, the only movie he did that he seems more like uptight, like stiff upper lip kind of British, was that movie This Is War. And he hated that. He was like, what the fuck am I doing? So he went to more serious roles. I mean, Warrior, Mad Max, Peaky Blinders, those aren't people who are upstanding citizens.
Actually, see,
those are
Hugh Jackman in Prisoners. Hugh Jackman in Prisoners, I can imagine him being more of a street character. Actually, no, Chappie. Like all the gangsters in Chappie could be, look street. I mean, it's those rappers, those South African rappers. Those two. Die Antwoord. Antwoord? I don't know. But fucking awesome. Shout out to them. They're awesome. Like, it's somebody who can never look street and never really convince. I mean, they probably could if they really tried. But like the guy, not Don Draper, Jon Hamm. No, not okay. He looks like Don Draper in every movie I see him now. Not gonna lie, he can fit other characters. I mean, I remember that one he went to. He was like $1 Million competition that he did. And he went to India, something like that. I liked the movie. I thought it was really cool. I don't remember. Yeah, it was a baseball movie. Like I like that movie. I think it's based off a true story too.
Shut up.
But see, he looks like the kind of guy who doesn't make the most money. He's more of a he looks like a business
middle class dad.
He's a middle class dad. He's the middle class dad of America.
And yet he is fucking hilarious.
He's amazing. Yeah.
I love. What was the thing? Like, dude, I was walking my dog, and some guy across the street, he just flipped me off. He just flipped me off, man. And the other guy's like, "Oh, really? Wow. What were you doing?" I was flipping him off.
You see,
but, it's really good.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't think Idris Elba looks too street for the role, in my opinion. I think he looks great for the role. I mean, if he shaves the beard, gets it nice and trimmed up. If he's
fit as fuck.
I think if he looks like he does in Luther, yeah, doesn't fit. But I mean, he's playing the gruff detective. He's not playing James Bond. There's a difference. But I think if he gets a little more trimmed up, he can play James Bond perfect.
By the way, he was you didn't see it, but he's excellent in The Wire. He is so good in The Wire. Fucking Stringer Bell. My favorite character is Omar, but yeah, Stringer Bell is like up there because he's really cool.
I guess that's the difference of opinion though. See, like when Guigo over here told me about the Idris Elba thing, I didn't, or about a black guy playing James Bond. He told me Idris Elba. I was like, Idris Elba fits it. I was thinking Idris Elba's perfect. I wasn't thinking a black guy has to play it.
Yeah, but I didn't. When I heard it, I heard Idris Elba, but it was like, it was the idea of putting a black guy into James Bond.
I heard that.
So I agree with Idris Elba. What he's saying, like, don't put me in there just because I'm black. Put me in there because I'm Idris fucking Elba and I'm a good actor.
Because he's awesome.
I mean, I don't know if he wants to play James Bond, but
Benedict Cumberbatch in there just because it'd be funny. He would play such a bad James.
I think if a white actor goes in, my idea is either Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill plays the most American in the world, and he's British, and it's so perfect.
What was that?
He's such a good Superman.
But he looks fucking good in
The Man from
U.N.C.L.E.
Oh yeah.
Like I saw James Bond in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Like a fucking hidden psychopath, but mostly just badass while also being the upstanding citizen.
Yeah, I think he
stiff upper lip.
He could.
British.
I think
He's
he could
so
do it.
fucking awesome.
If Idris Elba doesn't get the part, I think it should be Henry Cavill.
Although Tom Hiddleston, but you would be going a different route. You would going skinny, more sly, charm.
Loki.
Yeah, you're going
bitch ass.
he was great in.
He was great in Avengers, Infinity War.
The Hotel Manager, I think it's what it's called.
Spoiler.
With Hugh Laurie. Spoiler. What the fuck?
Spoiler.
What?
No.
Oh yeah. Why are you spoiling him?
I didn't say it. I said he was great in Avengers Infinity War. Spoiler.
But yeah, he was great in Hotel Manager, I think it's called, with Hugh Laurie. Can Hugh Laurie play James Bond?
No.
But he looks good in black.
Hugh Laurie.
That's one of his skills.
I like Hugh Laurie, but I don't think he can pull off. I think that's the problem. Some of the actors like Martin Freeman, I think, I'm a shorter guy myself. I understand it. Tom Cruise, we're here. Okay. We don't play
Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars. we can't play James Bond. James Bond's a taller, he's like 5'11" kind of guy. Even up to like 6'2", probably. Henry Cavill's pretty tall.
He's a little bit more average, I think, because he is the ultimate what people want to be. And I don't think everybody wants to be a basketball player.
Henry Cavill's 6'1", but they can definitely some movie magic. Ben Affleck's 6'4".
Yeah, he's fucking tall.
Gal Gadot, oh my God, 5'10".
Oh, 5'10". She's my height.
She's taller than me.
Actually, 1 inch lower.
Tom Hardy. Now I'm just listing heights.
Tom Hardy, 5'10"?
5'9".
Oh.
Amy Adams, 5'4". She can play James Bond. Not because of anything, just I like Amy Adams.
He loves Amy Adams. You are an Amy Adams fan.
I'm a fan.
I love Amy Adams too. Just
Arrival.
Not as much as
I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan.
What female actress am I? Fucking female actress. Wait, isn't that redundant? No. What is it when it's 2 words that are? Yeah, I think it's. Who do I love? Natalie Dormer. The fucking Tudors. Shut up. The fucking Tudors.
Not a fan.
There's a great scene.
Scoot.
It is on one hand it's a spoiler, but on the other hand it's history. She's a queen.
Like they know the history.
The king gets mad at her because
like
she can't have a baby or whatever. So she's gonna get beheaded, and she is so fucking poised. She has so much poise. She is just magnificent. And some lady gives her a necklace, and oh my God, she gives like this perfect mix of sad and still grateful smile.
Get it. She's perfect.
She's so. She's
the
gorgeous
best
woman, but that fucking smile in that scene, oh my God, it almost made me cry. It almost made me cry like a little bitch because I beat you to the insult. Because it's just so beautiful the way she did it. Oh, another beautiful scene. What was that one show with Josh Hartnett? With the vampires and shit.
What?
Not Peaky Blinders. Josh Hartnett vampires. What's the show called? Not 30 Days of Night. God damn it. Why would you be in 2 shows with vampires? Why would you do that?
Josh Hartnett?
Josh Hartnett.
You sure it's Josh Hartnett?
Yes. I'm sure it's just... Oh, Dorian Gray. You know Dorian Gray, right?
No.
That whole story. You don't know fucking Dorian Gray?
No.
He has a portrait that he looks at, and the portrait eats up his... Oh, no. Is he can't look at?
Oh, Dorian Gray. I know. I saw it. I just don't remember.
Penny Dreadful. There's a beautiful scene where I forgot what Dorian Gray is saying, but he starts playing this music and he talks about the story that the music is going, and then the music just fills the room. And it's such a beautiful moment because Josh Hartnett's character just his walls just melt. Oh and Dorian Gray is there to embrace him. It's such a fucking great scene. My God. I love it. I almost cried.
Okay,
like a little bitch.
After getting offhand here, a little bit into the actors.
All right, back to British Army.
Well, they don't show a German army. I hope. If there's one thing they don't want to put the swastika in, I understand legal issues. All right, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's
lack of historical accuracy.
It's I don't. It's a swat. Whatever. Fuck it. They want to take it out. I'll accept that one because like I understand at some level. Do you need a swastika to make yourself feel better? I wasn't well.
The way you say that, if somebody like takes that as a quote, like
do you need a swastika?
Do you need a swastika to make yourself feel better? I mean, hey, it's a nice thing to say, I guess. Anti-neo-Nazi. Do you really
need a swastika? So I understand that. Don't let anybody choose a woman on the Nazi side just because that's excessive.
Actually, no, do it. Fucking do it. That is equality. That's the thing I'm saying. Get a fucking Nazi woman, right? Show the world that, yeah, we're equal. We have women on both sides.
I'm just saying, portray the Polish military, please. The Polish resistance. There's a guy I heard a story of. Somebody told me about. He was like a Polish resistance part of the military back in World War II. He has like, I think he lost a limb. No, he's like really old now though. Mm-hmm. Remember you heard? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he lives near us around this area. Yeah, he lives in this area, the city.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Why?
I don't know, but I didn't know that. Anyway.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Polish military should be, I mean, I don't know, though. I'm biased. There's a reason I'm biased. You'll not know that reason, but there's a reason.
Because you like kielbasa.
That's a no. So.
Oh, okay, so Brazilians. I've said I'm Brazilian, right? You guys know that. I'm Latino. So.
Latin.
I'm a white Latino.
A Latino.
There is this fucking thing that happened. There was these 3 Brazilian soldiers who had themselves a last stand against these Nazis, and holy shit, they stood like fucking holding themselves off from Nazis for like a long time and like fucking killed plenty of them. They got killed, of course, but guess what? You know who commemorated them? The Nazis. The Nazis themselves gave them like a credit for being such badasses. It's kind of weird. Right? Anyway, we're going to get in trouble for saying anything like this. But
yeah. So, I don't know. They're probably going to let you play a woman, black woman on the Nazi side. I mean, I get it.
Okay. Be a little... Let's calm down a bit. And there's a historical accuracy there as well.
I mean, that's no, there's none for that.
Black woman fighting
on the Nazis.
Explain it.
What do you mean? No, there's none. But they're gonna let it in.
Oh, I see.
They said they're gonna be playable woman. I don't know if they're gonna let it, but I mean, Call of Duty, I think you could.
No, it's the black woman aspect that she said.
Yeah, specifically.
How?
There's none.
How? Okay, whatever.
How are they going to allow it?
By just doing it?
They're just going to let you play it. No, they're done with the whole historical accuracy thing.
They're just there's a certain... Okay,
they're done.
You got to step back a little and respect this is a little...
This happened. No,
right?
Yeah, they're done. I mean, did you not see the cover?
A black Nazi woman.
Call of Duty you could. So I can
understand a woman Nazi if she was white. But like
I can't even. They were more strict on that than anybody else.
My point being,
I can imagine a woman being a Nazi but not part of the military. People hated Jews and the whole community, from up to down. You don't just get to that kind of genocide. I mean, then again, there was the whole the whole group think. Not everybody believed it, but then they thought they believed it, and then they get into it.
Let me guess. They're gonna put a Jewish black lady defector onto the front lines of the thing. That's what's going to happen.
They're going to put a Jewish black woman fighting for the Nazi side.
No, I know. Defector fighting for the Nazi side. Because there was a whole thing, too, that if you just were against the Nazis, that you would get fucked up, too. Like, you could be an Aryan race kind of guy or a German, and it's like, oh, you're speaking against a...
Beep. Beep. That's what I imagine the sound of forcing people away from their homes. Just boop. Yeah, so just boop, it's gone. It's like the Thanos thing. Spoiler. That's horrible.
Oh, okay.
Horrible. So yeah, you know what? Historical accuracy in games, I think there should be some level. On some level, you want to put in your values in there. You can say, you know what? There was like two black soldiers fighting for the Nazi side. Okay, I'll admit it. There probably was 0. I could almost assuredly say because they proved they had a problem with anybody other than their preferred.
You know, it'd be a game that you could put that could have put women in Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. You could the infantry people that you play.
You think they want to spend extra money getting voice actors for women? You think some people don't realize
they could pay them less. What's your saying? They'll just pay them less.
Still money. Some people think like, oh wow, why don't they do this, do that? It's like sometimes, you guys, you gotta wonder. They don't want to. They want to make money. Okay, they're out here making money. Yeah. So I mean, I'm actually surprised. They're probably gonna get women voice actors and everything. They're gonna go all out on this, and it's gonna be like they're just out here making money. You know the problem I'm gonna have though? Are all the women gonna be in the game gonna be this exact woman right here? So like there was only there were only redhead. Red female women with this specific accent fighting in World War II.
Yeah.
It's only this woman. This woman fought World War II, and we needed to respect this woman as playing.
I mean, were there only a few other guy people? They're all individuals. So, but you could, if you did stereotypes, is there only that?
There's this Kratos guy, and Budget Kratos.
Budget Kratos.
Did you not see it?
I have not. No. Should I look up? Let me look up Budget Kratos.
No. Boy, I have not played the game. All I hear is the memes. So, you know, I just don't. I don't think this is all right. I don't want them to go this way. I think they're gonna continue this way. They said they're gonna keep it in. I think them saying that it's a minority that doesn't want it. That's a lie. There's more dislikes on there. There's a crap ton more. There's like 80,000 more dislikes on their trailer. First time in Battlefield history that they have a trailer that has more dislikes than likes.
There's these aren't people just making a bunch of other counts just to.
Yeah, just no. Like, this is the majority.
I don't know. But
that's the majority saying no to this. No, the majority do not want this kind of Battlefield the way the trailer portrayed it. Now the trailer, it's a revealed trailer. We're gonna get more info at E3. So for all those gamers out there, you're worried, okay? For all those here that aren't gamers, but you guys are concerned over history, we'll hope they try harder to preserve the history. I think the history of World War II is very interesting, and the history of World War I was very interesting as well. And I hope they try harder to preserve it than their commitment currently does not look like it's very strong. Mm-hmm. I would hope they pick it up.
Fuckers.
I mean, it's very.
And if it's the case, then fuck Battlefield.
At least
there's so many better games coming out.
No. Battlefield's the best. I'll just keep playing Battlefield 1. I hope the one black guy is played by Idris Elba. Please get Idris Elba to play the black people in Battlefield 1 2. I'll be fine.
Death Stranding.
You don't even know what it is yet.
I don't know, but I already like it. I
don't know what it is, who it's for.
To you gamers out there, I'm not going to even explain to you non-gamers, but to you gamers out there, you're going to know what I'm talking about. No Man's Sky. That's right. No Man's Sky. That's what could happen with Death Stranding. Don't explain it. They know. They know.
Hype beast.
Well,
I think we had some pretty good discussion today.
Did we?
Yeah.
I got really angry there.
You got very angry. Shout out to Amy Adams for no reason.
Just Nico, just like
I'm just shouting out.
Let's shout out. Let's try to remember all the shout outs. Shout out Idris Elba. Shout out John Boyega. Shout out Colin Salmon. Fuck. Shout out Tom Hardy. Shout out Tom Hiddleston. Shout out Hugh Laurie. Shout out
Thanos.
Kratos,
did some good stuff.
Shout out Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Shout out.
Don't shout out Call of Duty World War II. Screw that game.
Who should we shout out?
Garbage.
James Bond. Shout out to.
Okay, stop. Okay.
Shout out to the.
Well, that's all we had time today.
World War II. Shout out to me. Shout out to myself.